Good morning, Florida Vacation Network. I'm Chris, and I'm not wearing any pants. Today's top stories. DeSantis put a board in place to watch over Reedy Creek. They're not going to have any power, at least not for now. Disney raised their minimum wage from up to $17, and by the end of the year, it'll be $18. And a local YouTube host is having charges brought for not wearing any pants. Let's go to Rob and see what he's got going on.
What's up?
Hey.
that was great. You didn't even know I was going to do that.
I did not.
I didn't either.
How you doing this morning, Rob?
Oh, living life, living the dream. We're going to be like almost 100% empty nesters here in T-minus 7 hours. So,
Wow.
Yeah, Trace is moving to the Northwest, and Mackenzie's in the Disney College program. So yeah, it's going to be just us.
Yeah, we just had my stepdaughter stop in and say goodbye on their way back to the airport. They've been here for about a week hanging out with us, and so now it's back to real life again. which is never fun, but it was nice to have them here. And their children grew gills while they were here. I don't think they were dry 1 minute. They were either in the swimming pool at their Airbnb or ours, or we went to some water parks. And yeah, they are little fish. They're amazing.
Nice. Love
Yeah.
that.
I want to say hi to everybody. We got Susan in here, DC's in here, Mary's in here, Luke is in here. Who else do we got? Main Street Tree Company. Who is that?
Who is that? We might talk about them a little bit later.
Hi, Mel.
Let's see.
Good morning, everyone.
Okay. Yeah, I saw in the comments right there to turn on closed captioning for those of you who are at work and don't want your boss to walk by. So I'm working on it. I'm trying to find where the closed captioning is, or if that is just a Facebook thing. But I would think, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. We might have to look into that, though. That's a good idea. Because some people, maybe even if they can have the volume on, maybe they just don't want to hear me. So, I mean, I get that.
Definitely
Yeah.
a possibility as well.
Got to have options in life.
I appreciate Susan. She's gonna share this out to as many places as she possibly can, because I posted this stream, I don't know, like 15 minutes before. So like I said, it's been kind of a crazy couple days just trying to get things all ironed out and figured out. And then we wanted to spend one last evening as a family together. So we met Mackenzie and we went to Magic Kingdom. Ate at some place that I hadn't eaten in a while. I think I ate there one time a long time ago, but have you had the Diamond Horseshoe?
I don't think. Yeah, we were in there one time way before we moved here. That's the one that's like 2 stories, but the second story is just a ring around the top, right?
Yeah. It's got a stage and there's a player piano up there. They used to have like a show, like they would have people come out and do show. And I remember being there for that. So I remember, and now there's a similar restaurant in Disneyland, I think.
Oh, okay.
I can't remember the name of it, but maybe I'm thinking about there. But I mean, our waiter did confirm that they used to have a show, like pre-pandemic. So there was a show there at one point.
How was the food? It was good.
Yeah. So the other place, if you've eaten at the Liberty Tree, it's basically the same food. I think it is the same food. Honestly,
Gotcha.
I think down to the spices, it's the exact same menu as you get at Liberty Tree in the same deal. So it's a all you care to enjoy restaurant. All you care to enjoy. That's what they that's what they call it. Not all you can eat. All you care to enjoy.
Yeah, it sounds a little more pleasant.
Yeah, definitely sounds a little bit more pleasant than all you can eat. Yeah, I mean but it was good. It's good. So turkey, pot roast, some pork, like pulled pork. Let's see, turkey, pot roast, pulled pork. Might be missing one, and then stuffing, mashed potatoes, green beans, gravies. Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah, Main Street Treat said that they're really good with allergies. I mean, we walked in and they were like, "Do you have any allergies?" And she said, "Mushrooms and mangoes." And so they came out and they had her like a separate little plate that had mushroom free. And yeah, it was really good. They did a really good job.
Very cool.
Even on the reorder. So when we reordered, I said, I just wanted a little bit of turkey and mashed potatoes, and they brought her a separate plate, even just the turkey and mashed potatoes. So they must like separate all the food in the back as well. So
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Nice. So I know we don't have, I know I don't have a ton of information, but I think we should talk about this Reedy Creek thing. What do you think?
A little bit. I mean, I don't want to get too political with it.
No, definitely not.
But I do want to just cover what kind of some of the basics on it. But what kind of things did you hear about it? And then if I know anything more, I'll fill in the gaps.
Well, it sounds like Disney was being a little sneaky, and the day before the bill was put in place to have the oversight committee over Reedy Creek, Disney somehow put into place some verbiage in that I forget which king, or it's so I think it's the heir of a king, that as long as an heir of that family is alive, that it's all very complicated, but it basically means that 25 years after the death of the last heir of that family. Um, so basically, the oversight board has zero power. Now, I'm sure this is definitely not the end of this, and this is just the beginning, to see whether or not what they did is able to be done. But if nothing else, it buys some time, I guess. What have you heard?
Yeah, so the same thing. So I think it was King George III, and so they and I mean I'll get into the what I think about it here in a second, but they had placed in the Constitution that the new board or any new boards can't make any changes to what has been set up for 30 years past the last descendant of King George III. Um,
Gotcha.
which I think is I think that's close, and I know that Main Street Treat will correct me because she probably remembers the exact verbiage on that. But it was something kind of crazy and ridiculous. Like, I mean, now I did okay. So I was listening to some commentary, and the way they made it sound is that it's 30 years from now. So I'm wondering if the verbiage meant Queen Elizabeth, because she would have been the last child. But I even think she has a sister still alive. So um, I'm hoping Main Street Tree will help us out here and send me a link. Oh, King Charles the Third. Yeah, King Charles, not George. George the Third is our revolution. Um, so
It's all a little weird
yeah,
to me, but
Charles.
yeah, it was interesting. And then the raising the minimum wage, and I know you were mentioning that that has nothing to do with the college program,
Right.
but it's
They live
definitely a step in the
there,
right direction.
so
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, we'll get that minimum wage. Again, I don't know where I want to go because I have some pretty strong opinions on stuff. But yeah, no, I mean, just talking about the Reedy Creek thing. So, you know, obviously in this last couple of years, there's been a lot of like there's been a lot of opinions and tempers and lots of stuff. Um, oh, we're talking King Charles the Third. Oh, now he's the third. Thanks, Luke. I appreciate that. I'm so out of touch with what's going on in the world, I think. Um,
It's kind of
so
hard to follow anyway. The whole thing sounds like a Mad Lib.
yeah, it really is. Fill in your adjective here, your verb, your noun,
Right.
which I still haven't found. If somebody has a link to that, pop that in the chat because I would love to go grab it. Um, but oh, anyway, tempers and all that, and it came down to, this blow up, right? Okay, fine.
Uh-huh.
That's the way you're gonna go. This is the way we're gonna go, and yada yada yada. Now, this has been something that the Florida government has been talking about doing since before DeSantis. So, and if we're looking at like political parties, like both sides of the aisle have been looking at changing the Reedy Creek so that Disney does not have so much autonomy within the state. Because honestly, I mean, they're kind of they're their own government. They run their own rules and regulations.
Right.
And I haven't read the entirety of the Reedy Creek Agreement as far as how it was from 1968. But I mean, it gave them a lot of power. And then you have these other companies that come in like Universal, and they don't have that same that same level of control within themselves. So there's part of me that looks at it and goes, maybe we should have some more, you know, quality amongst the parks in around Orlando. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what the right answer is here.
Yeah, I don't know either. And um, it would, so for me, Central Florida wouldn't really exist as it does without Disney. Um, whether or not that's fair, but I mean, Universal wouldn't have built next door had Disney not built here first.
Nope.
Um, but at the same time, you have to have checks and balances. But then beyond that, Disney builds beyond anyone else anywhere. You know, as far as like past code and past, like they have the best roads, they have the best buildings. Everybody, when a hurricane comes, runs to Disney, and that's because
Road in
they
front of Magic Kingdom parking lot is finally finished.
yeah. It only took them 4 years to build Tron. There's nothing wrong here.
They take their time. They want to make sure every bolt's in place.
Absolutely, triple check those bolts. But no, there's no good answer. But I don't know. For me, I was happy to hear that at least for a little while. I'm just a little nervous if somebody else takes control, if it's going to um, diminish the parks. That's my only concern. Is if I don't want it to look like any other city with potholes and with, you know, I just don't know what that would look like. And I'm sure it wouldn't get to that point, but it just, they're doing such an amazing job. Why are we messing with it?
Yeah. I mean, and that part I totally agree with. I mean, Disney does a great job. They take care of their own. I mean, you don't hear of a lot of accidents and stuff, uh, happening, and everything's pretty fairly clean. So we'll see how it plays out. I think that the 11th hour change in the Constitution might come up in court. I'm sure
Yeah,
that. I mean, I don't know what everybody's political opinion of DeSantis is, but I mean, I've watched him on the news. I think he's a pretty smart guy. I think that he's got some pretty good people around him, and I can't see that this would be an oversight, but who knows? I mean, crazier things happen. So I don't know how the old board could sneak this in without it being illegal. Like, I mean, from the time that they said that there was a new board taking over, you would think that at that point no major other decisions could be made, to subvert that. But
right.
we'll see. We'll see what happens in court, and yeah, we'll see.
Yeah,
That's
it's.
where I'm at on that one.
I
Hey,
don't like getting into that kind of stuff because I mean we're all about the fun of Florida, but it is really important stuff that's going on. So I just wanted to touch base on it a little bit.
yeah,
But I think we're done with that because there's no good way to go and there's no real answers right now. So let's
yeah,
just yeah, good enough.
we'll see what happens, and I think that Disney will I think Disney's going to be fine. Which I'm going to talk about one other piece of news that I was just reading. I don't know if you've heard in just a second, but before we get there, let's just talk about us for a minute because I want to welcome you all in. I know we've hit everybody that came in, but we appreciate you stopping by here, Florida Vacation Network. We Chris and I and Mary and Melanie are small business owners here in Florida, and we want to help you. So we have things like notjustcruising.com. If you're coming into the Central Florida area, you're going to want to head over to notjustcruising.com and book your next vacation, whether that be here, to Disney specifically, Universal, Florida in general, or maybe you want to take a cruise out of Port Canaveral. Go over to notjustcruising.com and we'll help you wait online. Park Hopper Choppers is going to give you that transportation that you need to get from the airport to your resort. And then if you have any mobility needs, you can rent Central Florida's best mobility scooter here at Park Hopper Choppers. You can call Chris over at 407-989-9618 or go to parkhopperchopper.com. Then when you leave the park, I know just the other day somebody said, "Oh, I didn't have a Rice Krispie treat while I was here." So you could go to mainstreettreat.com and you can pick up a Rice Krispie treat or an apple or a cookie or any of the other treats that are around Disney or Universal. We go to actually and SeaWorld. So basically any of the parks here in Central Florida, if you have a favorite treat that you want shipped to your house, go to mainstreettreat.com and we'll ship that over to you. And that goes for merch as well. So there's a tab on mainstreettreat.com that says fun and fancy freight. And that's where you're going to go for all of your merch needs. All right. So, so did you? Hey, Dad Bills is in. See you soon. That's for sure. Welcome in. Did you see there was an article I was reading, and it talked about how Disney and Apple should merge, or Apple should buy Disney. What do you think of that?
I think that's a horrible idea. Yeah. No. You? What do you think?
That was such a short little response.
Yeah. No.
So
No.
here's the thing: I love Apple, and I
Me
love
too.
Disney.
Yeah. Me too.
But
Yeah.
Teddy Roosevelt. I think back to Teddy Roosevelt. Here's a little history lesson, mini history lesson. He worked really hard to break up Rockefeller because Rockefeller basically owned the world. And I think that's one thing that we go back to the Reedy Creek thing a little bit, is that Disney has a ton of power, and they've acquired these other companies, and they're real close, I would think, to like a monopoly. I mean, if you think about our entertainment industry, who is our entertainment industry? Disney, kind of Universal.
Right.
Who else? Oh,
well, I mean, there's a lot of
we
stuff.
are right here on YouTube.
Yeah. Florida Vacation Network is bringing up in third place for sure.
So I just can't imagine like if they were even to partner like with Apple. I just think that is pushing the limit, the bar way far into that monopoly range.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I agree. I think if Disney acquires anything else, it needs to just be IP and just stick with that because they do a really good job. I was bummed when Disney didn't get Harry Potter because could you imagine how different the world would be had they picked up Harry Potter?
Yeah. Do you want my honest opinion?
Yeah.
I love the Harry Potter areas of Universal.
Me too.
I think that they did amazing with the theming and creating that. Now, as far as like the movies, I think that the media of Harry Potter could have been different, and I mean different in a better way. Like I think that it would have been equally as good, possibly if Disney did it. But the Harry Potter, I love Diagon Alley and oh my gosh, the other one in IOA.
Yeah,
So
no, but and Hagrid's Motorbike Adventure is in my top 2 roller coasters. It's
yeah,
ridiculously good. Hey, by the way, I wanted to say thanks to Susan for putting all those links in there for us. I really appreciate all the work you do on here.
yeah,
It
definitely.
helps us out a ton. And Dad Builds, I didn't get to say hi. I think I sent you a text the other day, but I didn't get a response. So I might have the wrong number. So later on today, maybe you can shoot me a message because I need to get with you because you're going to be here very shortly. Little business. Sorry.
Very shortly. There he is.
Oh my gosh. Luke is saying, where are my fellow Android folks? They're trying to get connections so they can get in here. I'm just kidding.
Luke, we're losing connection. I'm losing you, Luke. Oh shoot. So the 50th, isn't today the last day?
What's today's date?
I
I
think
can't see
today's
because
the
I'm on StreamYard.
31st of March. Isn't today it?
Yeah, today should be it.
Today's it. We're moving right into that 100th. So, all the 100th merch is coming. It's been coming for quite a while now. But yeah, I was in like I said, Magic Kingdom yesterday, and there's like the sporadic 50th sign that's through, but a lot of the 50th decoration. I'm waiting to see that 50 come off the castle.
Well, so that's my next question for you. What do you think the chances are that we're going to have any surprise 100th decorations up in the morning?
That's a great question. I would think if today is if today is the official end of the 50th and tomorrow, begins the 100th celebration, then I would think that there's going to be some stuff.
I would guess that at least there's going to be a 100 on the flowers in front of the train station, and that there should be some 100 banners down Main Street. I would guess that there's the
Yep.
minimum that will be up.
Well, and the 50 should be off the castle, I would think. And then they got to go spray paint all those gold statues. They need to spray paint them silver.
Yeah, just dip them in chrome. I like the chrome instead of the silver.
Chrome. So I'm trying to figure out like what are they going to do with all those statues?
I want them.
They,
if they need a place to store them,
they can't just throw them away. There's got to be something done with that. Like, I don't know. Melanie was telling me, here in Creations, if you look up like around the registers, there are Mickey characters, and those came from somewhere, and I can't remember where, but it came from some celebration, I think.
huh.
So there's all these sorts of Mickeys, all different kinds, and yeah. So I don't know. I don't know what they're gonna do with it. Like, maybe they can put them in the pavilion there at Epcot, or maybe that building. I wonder, that building that's between like the Cosmic Rewind and
Mission Space.
in space.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll just throw them in there.
Yeah. The thing is, there's so many of them. How many are there?
50, I think.
Is there 50?
I think they made 50 for the 50th, right?
I mean, that would make sense.
Fancy Freight popped in.
I saw that.
Wow. That's interesting. I didn't even know Fun and Fancy Freight had a YouTube.
It's not right. Well, I think that's why she was saying you got to fix the logo.
Oh, is that?
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah, but I mean, with 50 of them, it's not like they can make a little display in the corner or somewhere. It would be a little overwhelming to have like a garden with 50 gold statues in it. So I think they're going to go get put on a shelf somewhere.
Probably.
Yeah.
Or
which is unfortunate.
Or they're going to paint them and they're going to add 50 more for the 100. So
yeah, just scratch it in the bottom.
Because they could add Oswald to the 100, because I don't think there was an Oswald statue.
I don't think so either. Actually.
Yeah.
That's a good trivia question. I bet if anybody knows, Chris from Dad Builds would know. And if you haven't checked out his channel, go check out Dad Builds. He's got some really good content, and he's working with Pete McDevitt. And if you haven't checked him out, go check him out too.
Yeah. Oh. So it's been I'm gonna bounce around here just a little bit, but
yeah,
just to cover some slides. But it's been summer. It's been summer the last few days, which has been really nice, But last night, as we were leaving the park, I couldn't help but notice that the temperature came down just a little bit. So maybe means we're gonna have a little cold front pop through.
Yeah, it's been amazing. The last 3 days, we went to Typhoon Lagoon 3 days in a row. The weather's just been incredible, and it's finally like at normal average temperatures, which is perfect. I like average.
Yeah, I like this time of year too, because I like the heat. Coming from San Antonio, it was a dry heat, and that's kind of what we're feeling right now. Like, there's not it doesn't feel super humid. Like it was warm yesterday. It was warming me up, but it wasn't like I was breathing water. So.
Yeah. No, Mary's filling our pool as we speak because we keep losing it. Somebody's stealing our pool.
Nice.
Yeah.
Dad
Builds, you should jump in on here with us and say hi before you come down if you got time.
Right? Hop in. We'd have to send him a link.
Oh, that's true. You're much better at this than me.
If you want to come in. Hey, you know, I was looking and this is I'm throwing something out here that I haven't actually seen yet. So this is wish us luck on this. But I have some really cool stuff coming up. If you want to Google Dick Nunes, okay, you can Google him. I got some fun content coming from him in just a minute. But I was looking at the news this morning, and Jeremy Renner did an interview, and I just want to play this. So
cool.
Here we go. It's about 2.5 minutes.
Okay.
A superhero of the Avengers, fearlessly taking on any fight. An ordinary man with a strength that never gives up.
Do you remember the pain?
Oh, all of it. Yeah, I was awake through every moment.
Who risked his own life to try to save his nephew.
I just perfectly see him in a pool of blood coming from his head. When I ran up to him, you know, I didn't think he was alive.
I'd do it again.
You'd do it again?
Yeah, I'd do it again. Because it was going right at my nephew.
You have a video which is haunting. It's January 1st at 8:42.
Yeah.
You are 13 minutes away.
Someone's been run over by a snowcat. Hurry. He's been crushed. There's a lot of blood over here. He is in rough shape. Keep breathing, man. Keep fighting. Hang in there, brother.
This was a sound of someone that was dying.
7 tons of machinery bearing down, and one man's iron will to fight and survive.
8 ribs broken in 14 places.
Yeah.
Right knee, right ankle broken, left leg tibia broken, the left ankle broken, right clavicle broken, right shoulder broken, face eye socket, the jaw, the mandible broken, lung collapsed, pierced from the rib bone, your liver, which sounds terrifying.
Yeah. And then, like, what's my body look like? Am I just going to be like a spine and a brain, like a science experiment?
His extraordinary fight to live, and his family's heartache and pain, right there by his side through it all.
I heard that you had, in sign language, you said to your family, "I'm sorry."
Yeah. Sorry.
A story of terror, survival,
I chose to survive. You're not going to kill me. No way.
and triumph. Jeremy Renner, Diane Sawyer.
Do you dream of doing those stunts again?
I've lost a lot of flesh and bone in this experience, but I've been refueled and refilled with love and titanium.
The exclusive interview.
You look in the mirror and do you see the same face?
No, I see a lucky man.
Thursday, April 6th at 10/9 Central on ABC.
All right, so I'm definitely going to be watching that full interview in its entirety.
Yeah, me as well. You know, when I heard about that from the beginning, so I've done a lot of work in Park City, Utah, where they had the Olympics, and also in Tahoe, where they had another Olympics, you know, for Winter Olympics. And I've been around a lot of those snowcats, and, you know, people don't realize how big those things are and that the tracks are steel. They're meant to compact the snow so that it doesn't, you don't get slides.
Right.
Smooth it out and compact it. But I cannot fathom that somebody even lived that got under one of those.
Yeah, that's. Ooh, I'm telling you, I'm so glad. I know this is totally selfish, but I am so glad that they were able to do Hawkeye for Disney Plus because his character, I think, is one of the most underrated characters in the Avengers. And then and to watch these little clips and whatnot, I mean, he is a hero. Like that's pretty crazy.
Yeah,
Pretty
it's
crazy.
insane. And it's amazing how quick he's actually bounced back. I mean, he must be busting his butt to get back on his feet.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and he even said he's had bone replaced with titanium and you know all of that
Right.
stuff. So, oh my gosh, yeah. When that incident happened, I was like, oh, we'll never see him again. Like, there's no way. But I love that where he said he chose to live. Like,
Yeah.
I think that needs to be a soundbite. Like, I mean, so much stuff goes on in life and even like the minor things, but this guy was crushed. And whoo, I'm telling you, he chose to live. He chose life.
Yeah,
So,
the part that got me was when you could hear him on the 911 call.
yeah.
That was pretty rough.
Yeah. And oh wait, Susan, is he a Niners fan? Was he where? Maybe I don't like him.
Take it all back.
I don't hate the Niners, especially. I mean, I like Joe Montana and Gary Rice.
Yeah.
So yeah, Hawkeye. I thought that was kind of an interesting little montage clip, and I want to go check out that. I want to go check out the.
You may want to mute me. Yeah, the pest control guys here.
Oh. That will just be have fun. There you go. That's what I'm talking about. Go Pack, go. All right. So the other day, I was shared. I don't know if I want to know. I don't want to talk about where I was shared this from, but had an opportunity to hear a little sound clip from Dick Nunes. And for those of you who don't know, Dick Nunes was born April 25th, 1931. He is renowned and influential figure in the world of theme parks and entertainment, having made an ineligible mark on the industry during his extensive tenure at the Walt Disney Company. He joined Disney in 1955 as a Disneyland attractions host. He quickly rose through the ranks due to his strong work ethic and dedication to the company. Over his 44-year career at Disney, Nunes played a pivotal role in the expansion of the company's theme park division, ultimately serving as the chairman of Walt Disney Attractions from 1980 to 1999. Yes, I'm reading a little paragraph here, so bear with me. Under his leadership, the company experienced tremendous growth, including the opening of Disney theme parks in Florida, Tokyo, and Paris. And he's known for his hands-on approach and commitment to providing guests with unforgettable experiences. Nunes' contributions to the industry continue to shape the way theme parks are designed, operated, and enjoyed worldwide. And Dick Nunes was one of Walt Disney's apprentices. So he worked directly with Walt in creating, the theme parks and attractions. So they're few and far between who's left.
Yeah.
That actually had like a handshake relationship with Walt Disney.
Yep. Yeah, him, Bob Gurr. There's not many of them left.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? I mean, we always say, man, I would love to talk to Walt. I just want to talk to somebody that actually talked to Walt.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's crazy to think, as if we could just get one level away from him,
Yeah, I mean, it's like shaking hands with a history book. It's like mind blowing. Like you're, I don't know. It's
especially
so crazy to me.
Especially somebody like him that that was influential. Like, I mean, obviously Walt had the vision for Disneyland and put it into play, to open in 1955. But, I wonder what changes, throughout those years did Dick have in making? Like,
Right.
you know, from the very beginning, the way the park looked on day one to the way it looked, you know, by the mid 60s, 10 years later. So
Yeah.
yeah, 6 degrees of Walt Disney. Like,
I mean, that was the smartest thing about Walt, is him surrounding himself with genius people. I mean, these aren't all Walt's ideas. Walt's the guy that brings the guys. He does have a lot of good ideas himself, but I mean, obviously,
yeah,
but he surrounds himself with geniuses, and that's why Disney is what Disney is.
yeah. Bring in the right people that that, you know, have the ideas and can make it happen. I mean, I think you said the other day, you know, Walt wouldn't be anything without Roy, right?
I didn't say it like that, but they work better together.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, I always think about that. You know, it's kind of like the Jordan Pippen, right? I mean, who would Jordan be without Pippen? I mean, he
Right.
would still be Jordan. I mean, there would still be a level to him, but you know, I don't think Pippen gets as enough credit in those years at in Chicago. But
Well, he definitely didn't get his own shoes, because I've never seen anybody walking around in Pippins.
I can't wait for that movie. Actually, have you seen that movie that's coming out?
No.
Oh yeah, so there's a movie coming out, and it's about like the creation of or it's about the uprising of Nike. It's with Matt Damon and Ben Affleck. It was something, I think they co-wrote it together, but it's all about Phil Knight and Bob Bowerman, and you know, making Nikes, and then, you know, really that early '80s, putting an entire company, as far as what the trailer makes it sound, is putting the entire company's reputation and future on Jordan before he even steps foot on the NBA court.
I
So
did see the trailer for that. That does look really good. I'm gonna definitely see that.
yeah, I'm gonna see it. I mean, I haven't been a huge basketball fan, but you know, I'm enough of a sports fan that understand the power and legacy of Jordan. I got to see him play once in Portland, so late in his career, but yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
But back to Dick. I just want to play a little bit of this clip here, and I mean, let me know at home. I think this should be good. Hopefully, it's not too loud. But I want you to focus in on this first line. I wish I had a little tail at the front, but focus in on this first line, because we're going to come back to it.
Pine Creek built the most wonderful place in the world. It takes people to make the dream a reality. And I mean that very sincerely. Without all of you in this room, this place wouldn't be what it is today. Fortunately, we've had the opportunity to hire great people, like all of you. As you walked in the room, I was noticing, you know, how sharp you are. Thank you for no beards. Because Walt didn't like that. But with that, now a lot of questions have been asked, but who has a question?
I've got another one over here for you.
Okay.
Our next one is, let's see here. Do you have a favorite Disney attraction that has opened since your retirement?
Since I retired. Well, since I retired.
Or your favorite Disney attraction that you worked on?
Well, obviously the Matterhorn.
Absolutely.
So there's Dick Nunes speaking to a group of younger people, maybe of college age. I don't want to give away where I got this, but no, go back to the very first thing he says. He says, basically, you know, dreams are just dreams without everybody else. Like, I just love that. Like, he's the one, he's the visionary for a lot of the great things within Disney, but he doesn't say, look at me, look at me, look at me. He said, it's because of all you. And
Right.
I love that. Like, can we please, for the love of Pete, get back to that kind of thinking?
Yeah. Yeah. I
No.
don't think it never left. It's always been, I think, in the Disney way of doing things. It seems that you know, when you watch the Imagineering show and Bob Gurr's talking about stuff, and you know, it's about when he's talking about designing the Matterhorn. Whoa. But designing the
Big
Matterhorn,
fan.
you know, when he's talking about it, he's always saying we.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's he never once says, "Well, I thought to do this." It's never like that.
Right.
It's a collaboration always, and that's how you get good things done. Everybody's got good ideas, and you blend them all together, and sometimes you end up with Stitch do on a ride that didn't last, but most of the time, you know, it's good stuff.
Yeah. No, I mean, just having more minds on something, but I just like the whole teamwork part. And I mean, I don't know, maybe it's because I'm a coach, you know, but I used to hound that into my defense. That this isn't about one player on the team, that we're 11 men on the ball. Like, you know, everybody has to do their part in order for the entire system to work. If one person steps out and tries to, you know, be the hero, then it all falls apart. And
Yep.
you know, and I think that these older guys really they lived it. Like, you know, I mean, you said Walt surrounded himself with people that that could help make his dreams, his visions come true. I mean, you know, he yeah, he didn't sit in his studio and just draw all this all by himself. Like, he hired people.
Right.
It failed the first couple times, right? But he just continued at it, and he found those people that could come on mission with him. And and here we are, you know.
Right.
So what? Welcome to 3 new people this morning.
Nice.
Excited
We're getting
about
there.
that. A hand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, this is only what we got, week 3 of this new channel. Not too bad. I'm glad you guys are all here. We really appreciate you being here with us.
Yeah. Yeah.
We still have a learning curve.
So Melanie's over there, hashtag shave the beards.
Yeah, I saw that.
Because Walt didn't like beards. He didn't like mustaches either. he seemed to wear one.
Yes.
But yep. Wow.
No, it's good. I like that. You know, we should do more of that. You know, just clips from some of the Imagineers speaking and stuff, because it's inspiring. All those people are inspiring to me. You know, if there was ever a job that I could have, or even just volunteer for, I would just love to be in the room with the Imagineers and see how they do this stuff, because I love it all. It's so creative. You know, to think that there's a lot of companies out there now doing theme parks and doing animation, but you know, when this all came up, it wasn't there at all. I mean, putting a cartoon in a movie theater was groundbreaking,
right?
You know, and those are all the firsts. And then a lot of people said, "Whoa, that guy's making some money. We should do that too." But and it's with anything in life. But yeah, I mean, whenever you're the original, it's powerful stuff.
Yeah. Yep, for sure.
Yeah.
Here, Up is getting a sequel.
No, I think that's a short, isn't it?
Oh, is it a short?
It's a short, yeah.
Oh, a sequel short. Okay.
Yeah, I was bummed because I was hoping it was a sequel. I really like Up, but
too.
no, they're doing a new Up Disney short.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I guess that wasn't as exciting as I thought it was going to be.
And then, then I was watching TikTok and I saw that they were showing clips from Back to the Future 4, and it all looked really good and real. And then I Googled it, and it's total BS.
Yeah, wait till tomorrow. Wait
Yeah.
till tomorrow. Yeah. No, I remember that. What?
What's happening tomorrow?
Tomorrow's April 1st.
Oh boy. Okay.
I think they throw out the Back to the Future 4 every year right around this time. So
yeah. Well, I fell for it.
I remember the first time I saw the Back to the Future 4 and how, like, you know, it fit right into the franchise, and I was like so excited. I was so
Yes.
and then I start thinking of all the logistics of it, and I mean, oh my gosh, bless Michael J. Fox, but I mean, there's no way there's no way, like,
Right.
they'd have to bring in somebody else, but yeah, that would have been super fun.
Yeah, amazing. That's one of my all-time favorite franchises for sure.
All right, what's your favorite out of the three?
Nostalgia 1, but really 3.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
I think 3's. Yeah, I would go 3's probably the best movie. 1, nostalgia, but I actually like 2.
2 weirds me out. The mom in 2 freaks me out. I don't know.
I don't know. I just like the the anarchist, you know, like, town is destroyed, you know, Biff's in this big tower. There was just something about it.
Yeah. Do you remember when those?
Not to mention we are living that time period, like, you know, that they flew to, right?
Yeah.
It was like 2025 or no, 20, what was the year? I can't remember. 2019 or I don't know.
2015, right? Because it was 1985, 2015,
okay.
and 1885. Yeah.
So we're 8 years into that. So we should be seeing flying cars. And
Well, that reminds me, I got to get my automatic shoelace shoes back into the shop because one of them is misfiring and almost cut my foot off.
yeah, we definitely need some of those. I like that. And then the air dry, you know, clothes. Like, that'd be sweet when you get off of you know, a water ride. It just
Yeah.
air dry.
Yeah, no, the closest thing we have is at the water park. You can go stand in the booth that blows wind and hot air for $3 on you.
Right. Well, hot, stinky air too.
Yeah. Yeah, we slowed down a little bit on the inventing.
Oh, let's see.
We're getting close to the top of the hour already. Today's flying by.
Yeah, and I'm gonna pull something up here. I'm throwing a curve into the mix because I want to show this. So, whoa, hold on there. I'll slowly roll. I'll just I'm gonna do this really low tech, but
Are you gonna act it out?
yes, I'm totally acting this one. But no, Luke's in the chat, and I just want to give some credit where credit's due because this is solid stuff right here, and I know we're gonna have more content. Luke is gonna be our I don't know if he knows this yet.
He doesn't, but we'll tell him right now.
But he's going to be our Mr. Food here on Florida Vacation Network. But so we threw this out, like, what was this, 2 weeks ago before your cruise? We were like, Luke, you know, you should make some cheeseburger spring rolls and put a video together and then we'll play it. And so he did. He put a little short together here on YouTube, and I want to play this for you. Let's see if I can get it back to the beginning. I want to get back to the beginning. Okay. I love that spicy.
Yeah, so I want to say too, so that's all sped up so that it would fit in the format of a short. But if you go to a spicy production, while you're there, hit that subscribe button for him. He's got a bunch of good content on there, but he did just release the same video slower. So that was 55 seconds, and then he did one that's 3 minutes. So you can actually jot it down what he was doing and see a little closer what he was doing. But yeah, he did that, and I hit him up the other day for the next challenge. But I'm gonna have to go buy one to dissect it a little bit so that he can reproduce it at home. But I think we're gonna talk him into doing homemade Ronto wraps.
That's solid right there.
Right?
I just pulled up that video you were talking about, and I threw the link right there in the chat. So
yeah, thank you, Luke, so much for doing that. And you did it so quick. We've actually had our hands on that video for a little bit, and no, that's awesome. If we could maybe talk him into doing like one Disney food to make it home, like every Friday, that we could air it or something before the weekend.
That's a great that's gonna be our Friday segment right there.
Right. Let's see if we can pin him down right now and get a solid yes.
I need
everybody in the chat. We need some encouragement. A spicy production needs to say yes.
Oh no,
that was really good.
And I like it. Luke, is that you that says spicy? I was just wondering because I love it. Oh, so there you have it. There you be. He's our Mr. Food or spicy production.
You know what's funny is you just asked him another question, whether or not that was his voice, and if it is, and he says yes, that means he agreed to Fridays. And I'm okay with that.
Did you see how I tricked him into that?
Right.
I just tricked him into it.
Yep. But he hasn't responded at all. So that's not a good sign either. That's not his voice, and he doesn't want to do it.
Oh no, just a sound clip. Okay, so now we gotta get a yes on the the being our Mr. Food.
Right. Throw some hearts in the chat to encourage a spicy production to produce some Disney snacks for us so that we can make them at home.
Yeah. I love it. I'm totally gonna do those cheeseburger pods. Or, I mean, not pods. That's the next one. This is the next one. We gotta throw that
right.
out. But the spring rolls, because those are my favorite. The cheeseburger pods. I almost had them the other day when I was at Animal Kingdom, and then we ended up we had to bounce out of there. But yeah, they're just not the same. I need some good ones.
He said he has to check with his work schedule. That's what they call in the industry a slow no.
Oh, Angelica, welcome in, Florida Vacationer. Perfect.
Welcome. That is my stepdaughter. They're heading back to the airport.
Awesome. All right.
Their car in each terminal. Yes, there is. Well, just when you get into the airport, there are signs everywhere that say rental car return, and just follow it. It's a lane on your left. I've been there a few times.
Do you know where it's at?
I do. I'll be there at midnight tonight to pick somebody up.
I almost hired you to take Trace today.
Yeah, it's going to charge you double.
Oh, the pepperoni spring rolls to come back. Ooh, I wonder. That's a great question. If the 50th goes away, does the pastrami ones go away?
Well, considering they actually put it in the name, I think it'll have to.
It has to go away unless they change the name up and keep it. That would I want the pepperoni ones to come back.
Yep. Yeah, that'd be good. I do like those as well. I still am a diehard cheeseburger spring roll, but if there is pepperoni, I'll take one of those occasionally. So we got a solid maybe from Luke.
Solid.
And he's doing something with turkey legs.
Okay. I love it. I love it.
Oh. Nice. I'm going to count that as a yes.
I'm going to count it as a yes as well. I'm not sure.
Let's write that down so he can't back out.
We're at the top of the hour. So
time to reset.
We got some cool content coming at you in the second hour. So stay tuned. And we're back. Welcome into Florida Vacation Network. We are your source for all the news and notes and food and fun and everything that you need to plan your Florida vacation. So you need to go no further than right here at Florida Vacation Network if you want to know something about how to plan your vacation. We are sponsored by a few things. First thing is, and when I say sponsored, I mean these are our small businesses. So if you like to support small businesses, Chris and I and Mary and Melanie, we do have small businesses here in Central Florida. The first one being notjustcruising.com. You're going to want to go check out notjustcruising.com because wait times are long, y'all. Wait times are long, and you're not going to want to spend your day leading up to your vacation holding, to make changes or holding to add that reservation. So go to notjustcruising.com and we'll wait on hold for you. So once you get here to Florida, you're going to need a ride to your resort, Park Hopper Choppers. They can come pick you up at the airport and take you into your resort. And then when you get there, you might want to rent one of those mobility scooters. They are Central Florida's best mobility scooter rental company, and they'll drop it off with a charged battery. They are hot items. 007 is the first one. I love that name. And they have flames and all sorts of different levels. So if you need a mobility scooter, check out parkhopperchopper.com or give Chris a call directly to 407-989-9618. If you call him right now, we'll hear his phone ring right here on air. MainStreetTreat.com. That's where you're going to want to go if you missed out on that. What do you call them? Rice Krispie treats, cookies, character apples. Maybe you want the popcorn party. Go over to MainStreetTreat.com. We've got lots of boxes over there. We got seasonal boxes. We've got special boxes. We got one-time boxes, and then we've got subscriptions. So you're going to want to check that out. And then right there at the top of the page on MainStreetTreat.com, you'll see a tab for Fun and Fancy Freight. Fun and Fancy Freight is your source for all of your merch needs. So if you came into the park and you left and you went, oh, I forgot to get that 50th merch, give us a holler on the Fun and Fancy Freight page, and maybe we can go pick up some of that for you. So there you have it. That's how we're here, doing this for you in Central Florida.
I couldn't agree more.
Morning.
Welcome in, Car Key. Thanks for being here.
Hello. Oh, so we started off the top of the hour last hour talking about the Reedy Creek news. Do y'all know about it? Have you heard about it? You heard the controversy over Reedy Creek?
Yeah, Disney's got some shenanigans going on to protect themselves, and we're going to see if what they threw at the wall sticks. And yeah, I mean, we talked about it. We we don't like to be political in any way on this channel, but we definitely, I don't know. It was an eye opener, and it like I said earlier, it sounds like a Mad Lib. I mean, they can't have control until. Yes.
Are you ready?
Yes.
I got some pieces of it. I still have not found. This thing has got to be the most hidden secret in the world. Trying to find the actual, but there's multiple entries into the development agreement that was signed on, and here's the first like little red flag of this whole thing. February 8th, 2023. So this is towards the end of the Reedy Creek board before they go to the Florida, was it Florida Tourism Board? They changed the name up a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know. It didn't like
yeah,
have a good ring to it, so I forgot it immediately.
So, which I think every board should just have a really benign name, because we don't really care about them anyway. But
like grape
anyway,
juice. We're on the grape juice board.
Yeah, towards the end of that, they signed into an agreement. 21 years after the death of the last survivor of the descendants of King Charles III, King of England, as of the date that none of Walt Disney Parks and Resorts owns any real property within 10 miles of the RCID, the Reedy Creek Independent District properties. Yeah. So
it even had some verbiage in there about them not using to be able, like, their IP, like their characters, and like it had a whole bunch of stuff in it. And this was all put into effect one day before DeSantis signed the board in.
Yeah, so that right there to me, and I have my own like opinions about all of this, and I think that there's positives and negatives through this entire thing. I don't want to sound like I'm walking on on the fence on this or trying to play both sides, but I really am. I mean, maybe I should run for office somewhere, but
I wouldn't vote for you.
I wouldn't either. But I'm just looking at this and I'm going little shady on that, one day before, but I will see if it sticks. I don't know. It's quite possible that this might change it. I mean, here's the thing is that the board is gone still. So that doesn't change. It just makes the new board, it limits their power.
Right.
Yeah.
That takes it away. It sounds like completely. Yeah, I don't know. I did see somewhere that when they put this into effect the day before the other one, that it was like in the correct circumstances, like it was an open announced meeting or something like that. But I don't know if that means that they put it on the back of one cereal box and stuck it on a shelf announcing that, I don't know how they alerted people that they were going to be doing this and that they were able to come be a part of it. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. It's just another, I don't know. It's just a back and forth, and I guess we'll find out as this unfolds a little further, because it's not going to end here.
Yeah, no, for sure. I'm gonna have to go watch the Stephen Colbert thing, see what he said about it. So Mel is over there. I think she's teaching third grade. She's saying notice and wonder a lot. Notice and wonder. Unless you're talking about this. I actually did find now I think this is the excerpt 7.1. This declaration shall be deemed effective as of the effective date and continue to be effective in perpetuity unless all or certain portions of the provisions of this declaration are expressly terminated as provided elsewhere herein. Provided, however, that if oh my gosh, you know what? Here, I'll just link this.
they make it impossible to actually read those things. For my little brain.
Here's the thing. If you want to go check that out. So it's over on Blog Mickey is where I finally found it. Here's the thing. I have never been like a sue happy person. Actually, I've never sued anybody in my life. I've never had a lawyer in my life. I've never wanted to pursue. And trust me when I say, in 45, almost 46 years, I've had many of opportunities that I probably should have went to court. Like, I mean, yeah, numerous opportunities, but I really, I despise um, things like this, where it's like the wording just, you have to be a lawyer to understand the wording. Like, keep it simple.
Right.
And then so finally, about almost 2 years ago, I finally got a lawyer for the first time in my life, for an accident, because the insurance company from the other person tried to offer me something ridiculous. Like 2 days after the accident, they're already wanting to settle, and I'm like, no, I haven't even healed. Why would you do that? So I was like, you know what? For the first time in my life, I went and got a lawyer, and it has been the most miserable experience of my life. I mean, it's ridiculous. Like, even my lawyer, I hate my lawyer.
Right. Yeah. No,
Isn't the lawyer supposed to be the guy that I like? Like,
yeah. Well, and when it comes to legal things, doesn't it make more sense to use verbiage that's understood?
right?
I don't know. Maybe that's just me.
I mean, why do we have to have somebody that has to read it to us to interpret it for us so that we understand it? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. In perpetuity.
Yeah.
Like, I kind of know what that means. Like, doesn't that mean forever and ever and ever? Like, it goes
Right.
on and on and on, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Notwithstanding
Ah,
the foregoing or anything to the contrary herein. All right. I'm gonna need somebody that can break that down and give me the Cliff Notes version of that paragraph.
yeah, and I'm gonna need a Tylenol.
Oh, the nitty on it is that things are happening here, and we'll just see how it all pans out. I mean, honestly, I think that with having Iger back, um, who is more of a people person, um, you know, it's going to take a little bit of time, but I think that relationships will be healed. And
Yeah, I want to. I wish I could have sat in on that conversation of whoever came up with the idea to do that, because they're like, what, did they sit there? I mean, just because it sounds so funny what they put in there, where they're like, all right, so you got this king, and they're like, no, wait, hear me out. Yeah, I don't know.
what is the time frame that we can put on this? Well,
Right.
let's not put a date. Let's leave it up to God here. So
Yeah, when Mr. Potato Head's kid, I don't know.
Oh shoot.
Yeah, the world is a weird place, and I don't try to make sense of any of it anymore.
Me neither.
But yeah, and so have you been to, in other news? Here's my transition.
There you go.
Have you been in Magic Kingdom since Tron went to the actual opening?
The actual opening is in 4 days.
Oh, I thought it was just. See, now I'm way off.
So no, I haven't been in since the actual opening.
So the answer is no.
No. Although I have reservations for April 4th that I booked, like, I don't know, 3 months ago. And as soon as I was actually on my way to school, I think, and I heard on the radio that Tron was opening April 4th. It just came out and just announced, and I was like, maybe driving and making a reservation at the same time.
No, that's not what happened.
No, definitely not. But no, I made my reservation for April 4th, not knowing that they are doing a soft opening right now. So they are, so you can get a virtual queue in the morning at I believe 7 a.m. If you have Magic Kingdom reservations.
Okay. And so just to recap, so in the last 2 minutes, you talked about having a car accident you need an attorney for, and that you were booking your Tron reservation while driving. Okay. I just wanted to cover that real quick.
Thanks for pointing that out. Not all
I
that
got you.
happens at the same time. I'm a very good driver.
Yeah.
Yeah, right with Rain Man. I'm
excited.
Angelica, is she talking about response from you
for the rental car return?
There you go. You see,
yep.
That's how we do it over here on Florida Vacation Network. So you have questions, we have answers. We'll get them to you, helping you out.
Right.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Susan.
What? Susan? That's what I'm talking about. We're having a 1K party. Love it.
Go check out her channel and let's get her up above that 1,000 mark. So 1,000, if you're, well, most of the people in here are YouTubers, but if you don't know, 1,000 subscribers is the threshold to become monetized, where you can actually have commercials and make money. You also need to have 4,000 watch hours. And here at Florida Vacation Network, we are solidly darn close to 0.05 of that. So we're on our way.
Yeah. No, we're doing fine over here.
No, that's amazing, Susan. Seriously, congratulations. Yeah. That's great.
Yeah, that's like the that's the target number of anybody that posts their first video on YouTube. Is like, can I get 1,000 people that will click that little button that says subscribe and want to come back and watch another video? And she actually has a video and out that that I'm gonna put a link in here for you, Susan. This is selfish. I'm totally selfish. But I love it because she is so real. I've actually met Susan. We ate at Raglan Road, our favorite restaurant. But let's see. I know I'm kind of rambling here. I'm trying to find something here.
No, you're good. So Susan said she has not hit the 4,000 hours of watch time yet. So after the stream, go over there and give some of her content a look, because that would help her out a ton.
There we go. Boom. Go check out that video. I think you'll be as uplifted and happy as I was when I watched it. So that's all I'm going to say.
Yeah. Good stuff. That's a nice announcement.
Yep. I love it. I remember that day. 2 years ago when we finally broke that threshold on Disney connections. So.
Yep.
Oh. And then someday right here on Florida Vacation Network, we'll get there.
Yep. Just got to plug along and try not to suck at this.
Oh, speaking of sucking at this, the weather outside.
There's a transition.
No, actually, it doesn't suck. That's the opposite. It was a flip, right? So the weather right now in Orlando is probably closer to 80, because when I pulled this, it was an hour and a half ago. But 75 was the it says 9:48, but maybe it was 9:48. I don't know. Anyway, so 75 degrees. We've got low humidity the last couple of days, but we are in our first days of summer. So how did you spend your first days, or days of first summer? I'll call it days of first summer.
Well, our last 3 days, we had family in town, so our last 3 days have been Groundhog Day. We went to Typhoon Lagoon 3 days in a row, and it was amazing. And for those of you who, when you come down to Disney World and you only do the 4 main parks, you're missing out. The Typhoon Lagoon is such a good time. It's, when people come down to Disney and they say when they get home they need a vacation from their vacation, because there's always so much to do and you're always running and you want to get in the next queue. And That's Typhoon Lagoon is the exact opposite of that. You lazy river, it's right there in the name. They have, just laying on the beach, sitting by the big wave pool. The waves at that place are so big that as soon as the park closes, you see people walking in with surfboards because the waves are big enough that you can actually pay to surf them after close.
What?
Yes.
Are you serious right now?
Yeah, it's amazing.
Wow.
Yeah, so it was a great couple of days. What did you do? What have the two of you been up to?
Well, before I go there, I just put this up. I'm gonna put it up one more time. But Fun and Fancy Freight has offered to do a magical trinket parcel post. Want to support Fun and Fancy Freight, but for Susan's 1K party. So, Susan, we got to put together a giveaway, and then we're gonna throw that that magical trinket parcel post, which is so easy to say. We've been in the parks the last couple of days, and I would love to go down to Typhoon Lagoon because I love that water park. I haven't been to Blizzard Beach in a long time, and I really haven't been to River Country in a long time, and I don't think
yeah, it's a little more dangerous than it used to be, and it was dangerous before.
But let's see. Is it Blizzard Beach is where you can swim with the sharks, right?
Yes, and Blizzard Beach is a much smaller water park. They have a much smaller wave pool, but that one just went through a complete refurb. It was open up until about 2 weeks ago. It was open for maybe a month or two.
I know, that's what shocked me when you said you were going back to Typhoon Lagoon. I was like, wait a minute, I thought that was close to easy for me to say, refurbishment, and but apparently it was just a quick turnaround.
Well, so here's the way they do that. So pre-COVID, it always depended on crowd sizing. So if it was very low crowds at a low time, they would only have Blizzard Beach open. If it got a little higher, they would open Typhoon Lagoon. If it got way higher, they would open both. They don't have enough employees to open both at this point. So when Blizzard Beach opened and they closed Typhoon, all the employees go over to Blizzard. And then Blizzard was there. Then just before spring break season, they switched back to have more room. So then they had just refurbed it. They used it for 2 months, tested everything out, but then it was getting to be busy time. So then they went back to Typhoon and opened that one back up. And it sounds like most of the employees like being at Typhoon better, the ones that we've talked to.
Really?
It's quite a bit bigger. I enjoy it better. I think Blizzard Beach is really cool looking, and that if you're into the big body slides, they have one called Summit Plummet, and it is a huge body slide where if you don't cross your legs, you'll cough out the water that came from somewhere else.
You want to cross your legs is what you're saying.
Yes, okay. Absolutely. But yeah, so that one has Summit Plummet. Typhoon Lagoon does have body slides, but they're not as big as that one. But so they each have something to offer. But yeah, I love Typhoon Lagoon.
Nice. Yeah. This amazes me right here because of all, she likes to make sure that she can see the bottom of the pool, and River Country you couldn't. River Country was like seriously, it was like backwoods watering hole. So
yeah, for those who don't know what River Country is, it was the original water park when Disney opened in 1971. I think it opened at the same time, did it not?
Really?
And so it was a water park, but it was fed by the water from the lake.
Okay.
It's not chlorinated water. It was lake water. So it was like real river water. Unfortunately, using that kind of stuff ended up leading to parasites and things that got people sick and worse. And it's still there. The park is still there. It's overgrown. There you can find videos of people, and I would not recommend this at all, but people have gone over there and recorded. 76. Thank you, Mel.
Great breaking news coming from Florida Vacation Network. Live from.
And you click over to me, and I'm fighting an alligator. Yeah, it was an experiment that lasted for a while, but did not last forever. I think it closed in the 90s, right? Late 90s.
Well, I know I was there in 99.
Well,
So
very late 90s then.
It would have had to be maybe early 2000s. I remember it closing. I remember the talk about it. But yeah. Oh,
Wow.
there. Look at that. 2005.
It's a good thing we got somebody fact checking me today, because I am way off today. 5 years exactly on, well, no, 6 years on one, 5 on the other.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, no, when we were here on our honeymoon in 99, that was we loved it. That was it was between that and Blizzard, to be honest, because I like to swim with the sharks. So that was kind of fun.
I did swim with the sharks, but the water was so cold I couldn't enjoy it. So I've only done it once, and because obviously it has to be cold enough for the sharks, and cold for sharks is too cold for me.
It's not 92 degrees in there.
Right. No, I hear you, Karki, and that's the reason that's so many people don't go there is just not enough time. But
Right.
like we would always schedule like an extra day in the middle for like a resort day, because we used to do like 10 days, so we could do 2 days at each park, and then in the middle there we would either do like a resort day or do a water park. But not everybody can do that, but it's if you ever get the chance. And also, you got the miniature golf courses over there, and all the regular golf courses. There's so much to do with Disney, and but yeah, when your time is limited, you got to hit the parks. I mean, I would do the same thing.
Yeah.
Urban Explorers, that's who went in there. Yep.
Yeah. So there is so much to do on property. And that's, I mean, I think that's kind of my vision for this channel. I don't know what your vision is, but is to help people in their planning. So when you come here, because we are go, go, go. I mean, I know Disney Connections Mel is going to pop in right now in the chat and tell you, I mean, we rope drop and we are fireworks. I mean, we hit the bookends and rarely ever go back to the resort midday. And it's exhausting. I mean, you said at the top of the hour, like, you get done with your vacation and need a vacation. And it's like, it shouldn't be that way. Like, you should be able to relax. And that's why I love Typhoon Lagoon, because it is just such a relaxing time at that park. But a good, like, especially right now with kind of the the construction that's going on in Animal Kingdom, that might be a good day to rope drop Animal Kingdom, right? And and you go in, you hit up Flight of Passage, you hit the safari, walk around a little bit, and then the second half of the day go over and hit up the water park and just relax. So,
yeah, or even if like you have one of those days where you want to go to Disney Springs to do all the shopping and all the food, it's right across the street, and it's the same bus for a lot of the resorts that it's going to hit Disney Springs, and it's going to hit Typhoon Lagoon. And even just to pop in there, take a float around, takes about 35 minutes to get around the lazy river. It's a long lazy river, but just to see it, because anytime you get to experience something new on Disney property, it's always cool, because it's all Disney. They do such an amazing job with all that stuff. There's real white sand beaches in there, and it leads into the water. I mean, like, it's so cool.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. I don't know why. I think it's my other computer. Yeah.
64 miles in 6 days. That's a lot of walking, Luke.
Right. I mean, I don't know. I have a little different take on things now. Being here, I like to take my time a little bit. I like to go in, spend a little bit of time, and then get out. But I get it. Like, if you're flying clear across the country and coming here for your, once a year or every other year vacation, you want to get as much in as you can. But there's that time that you just want to take a breath. You just want to just sit back and relax and go, okay, I'm gonna rejuvenate today. And I think that the water parks are a great place for that. I think that the little mini golf is a great place for that. I love, the resort hopping thing, which yeah. just,
Yeah, I know I've said this before. Our resort day, we never spent at our own resort. We would always go to Fort Wilderness, and it was a little different before COVID because before COVID, anybody could go in there and rent a golf cart. Because Fort Wilderness, the campground is so big. I mean, it's huge, and so to walk it is darn near impossible. But everybody parks their campers and they decorate them, and there's hidden Mickeys everywhere, and they bring their own Mickey lamp posts and all the decorative lighting and all that kind of stuff. And then some of my favorite restaurants are there, and then you're right on the beach, and you have boat access to go to other places or Magic Kingdom or wherever you want to go. So that was one of our absolute favorite resort days. Nowadays, you actually have to have a reservation to rent a golf cart, but you could also rent a scooter from me and cruise around all day.
I have not yet done that, and we need to plan that day here soon because I want to go do that.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah. Oh, right. So that's very interesting. I don't know. Are you gonna put that up on the screen?
Yeah.
I'm still looking for that. I have not found that verbiage. If you found that, then I would love a link to that. But I did hear the rumor that there was a fifth park. I think it's 7 years too late though.
Well, yeah, and yeah, no, I really think we said this before, and I think that they're just holding that one in their back pocket for right now. I don't think they even probably have a plan for what it is. I think they just wanted to run it through and get it approved so that it's sitting there in case they come up with a plan to do so. I could be wrong. They could have a total plan for it and just nobody knows. But for sure, before all this Reedy Creek stuff goes down, they had to get that on the books.
Yeah. Well, and then, I think that Disney, because if you didn't hear, I mean, this is old news. It's like a week ago or something, but the controversy or the Universal Park that they're opening in Texas, the city came back and was like, no, but it actually went through. So Universal, I think, is moving forward with their park. They're just west of Dallas. So I think the Disney's probably going to have an answer for that in Texas for sure. I've heard rumor about that for a few years, and I would not be surprised if Disney doesn't announce something maybe during this 100th celebration, possibly.
Yeah.
Or definitely by next D23.
Speaking of 100th, it just dawned on me. What do you think the chances are that annual passes are going to open tomorrow now that the 50th is over? Because I'll tell you what, my Pixie Pass, I'm blacked out again this week.
Oh my gosh. I cannot believe that's one thing that is bugging me right now is that they've closed you out and I mean they said that when your renewal comes around you get to upgrade, but you can't upgrade now, which doesn't make sense.
You can't upgrade early, right?
It doesn't make sense to me. Like it's almost as if they're saying we don't want your money right now. Or maybe you're not as profitable as we would like, so we're not going to I don't know. What is there? I don't know.
If I took a picture of my house, they would let me in every day.
Right?
I buy merch. I am not one of the locals who buys nothing and sneaks their own water bottle in it full of alcohol and just only buys refill popcorn every day, and that's it. I'm not one of those. I buy merch. Let me in. Let me in.
Right? That's what I say every time I go to the park. I'm like, they're not kicking me out.
Right.
I spent a lot of money here.
Yeah. No, it's frustrating, but we're getting close. So maybe next week we may venture out into. So I'm a little nervous. I want to live stream from SeaWorld, but their signal at SeaWorld is awful. I will say that it is tough to get a signal in there. So I might have to roam around a little bit and see where I can get a strong signal and maybe stay in that general area so we don't have the same situation we had on the cruise ship.
Yeah.
Or jump into Universal or head down to, I don't know what the signal is in Legoland either. So we're going to have to figure that out. But maybe next week, Mary and I will venture out and get on location at one of the other parks since Disney doesn't want anything to do with me.
Yeah. Well, and I already have well, I'm gonna get my Universal pass back. I had it and then I let it go because I was an employee there and I just haven't picked it back up again. But I do have some reservations on a guest pass for I think 2 weeks from now for Friday. So by the way, hey, I wanted to know if you wanted to go to Universal and do Mardi Gras one last time. I think it's the 14th. So I want to get in
please.
there and get you all some footage from Mardi Gras because Universal does it up right. That parade, their parades. I'm gonna go off on this for just a second. Because Universal's parades are amazing. They are an event that is like none other. Like when you go to Disney, yeah, everybody lines the streets and it's like, you want to be in Disney, you want to see the parade, but Universal does it right.
Yeah.
I mean, they're huge.
Especially Mardi Gras.
Especially Mardi Gras. I mean, the Disney, I mean, not the Disney, the Christmas Macy's Day Parade. I mean, it's just a scale size down from what they actually do in New York. So, yeah, but anyway, Mardi Gras is amazing. And I want to get in there one more time before it's over. I think Mardi Gras ends the 16th in Universal. So we're going to get in there one more time and get you some footage from that. But yeah, that was it. That was
yeah. Well, and it just dawned on me too. We were not to jump back to Typhoon Lagoon, but keep an eye on the channel. We have some shorts coming up because I finally went in there yesterday and brought my camera. Usually it's always in a locker, but we had the grandkids and I was kind of hanging out at the bar. And so I brought my camera in and took a few shorts. So those of you who have never been in there, we're going to be popping those up so you can kind of get a look at the wave pool and stuff like that to get an idea what it looks like in there because it's cool. But anyway, I don't want to jump back on that same subject, but keep an eye out for those.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, we'll get in next week. We're gonna hit up some different parks, some different areas, and yeah, we'll venture out. We'll show you that we don't just do Disney content, although we do love Disney. We do love Disney.
Yes, we do.
Yep. Let's see.
Oh, and a little channel news. Here in about 2 weeks, Rob's not aware of it yet, but he's going to be heading over to my house to help me set up my real studio, so I won't be sitting in front of a window anymore. So yeah, about 2 weeks from now, we're gonna talk Rob into that.
Oh yeah, we're gonna come
I'll
over.
have some lighting. I've got all the stuff. I just got to put it all together again.
Yeah, no, I'm excited. I like building studios. I wish I could show you this one.
Yeah, it looks like he's gonna launch a NASA rocket.
I really do try to look at the camera, mostly when I'm talking, but sometimes I gotta look at this screen or that screen or that screen or this screen or this computer. It's ridiculous, y'all. I mean, some people, their addiction is everywhere. I'm just addicted to technology toys.
Yeah, and Mel and Susan are both right. Once the studio is back in place, we're going to start doing some unboxings back on Disney Dynamics again. And also, Susan, I'm hoping to do some builds and live hangouts on Legacy.
Perfect. Yeah, we got to get that. We got to get that back up and running. So,
Luke just said, don't let him talk you into grouting his tile. One time I invited Luke over for dinner and he ended up grouting my whole shower.
That's hilarious.
I love Luke. Thank you, sir.
Great. I think I'm coming over for dinner on Sunday. See what project we get into.
I'll have it ready.
Oh yes, I want some more boops and snaps. So
yeah, I haven't done a video, an actual vlog video for Disney Dynamics in over a year.
I know it's time to bring that back.
Yep.
It's time to bring it back.
I miss it.
Definitely.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm gonna do a little transition. I haven't played the transition the entire thing, so I'm not gonna do it. But
Let's transition to not just back to us again, and we'll just change pose.
I definitely want to play this one more time because we played it in the first hour, and I love this, and then we'll talk a little bit about it. But I want to. This is the interview that was just launched last night of Jeremy Renner. So I just want to talk about him just a little bit more. But check this out.
A superhero of the Avengers, fearlessly taking on any fight. An ordinary man with a strength that never gives up.
Do you remember the pain?
Oh, all of it. Yeah, I was awake through every moment.
Who risked his own life to try to save his nephew.
I just perfectly see him in a pool of blood coming from his head. When I ran up to him, I didn't think he was alive.
I'd do it again.
You'd do it again?
Yeah, I'd do it again. Because it's going right at my nephew.
You have a video which is haunting. It's January 1st at 8:42.
Yeah.
You are 13 minutes away.
Someone's been run over by a snowcat. Hurry. He's been crushed. There's a lot of blood over here. He is in rough shape. Keep breathing, man. Keep fighting. Hang in there, brother.
This was the sound of someone that was dying.
7 tons of machinery bearing down, and one man's iron will to fight and survive.
8 ribs broken in 14 places.
Yeah.
Right knee, right ankle broken, left leg tibia broken, the left ankle broken, right clavicle broken, right shoulder broken, face-eye socket, the jaw, the mandible broken, lung collapsed, pierced from the rib bone, your liver, which sounds terrifying.
Yeah. And then like, what's my body look like? Am I just going to be like a spine and a brain, like a science experiment?
His extraordinary fight to live, and his family's heartache and pain, right there by his side through it all.
I heard that you had, in sign language, you said to your family, "I'm sorry."
Yeah. Sorry.
A story of terror, survival,
I chose to survive. You're not going to kill me. No way.
and triumph. Jeremy Renner, Diane Sawyer.
Do you dream of doing those steps again?
I've lost a lot of flesh and bone in this experience, but I've been refueled and refilled with love and titanium.
The exclusive interview.
You look in the mirror and do you see the same face?
No, I see a lucky man.
Thursday, April 6th at 10/9 Central on ABC.
Hi, everyone. George.
All right. George Stephanopoulos. Yeah, that gets you. I think what I'm left, with that, and we'll talk about it a little bit more, but I love it when they show that, scene where he's jumping off the building and flipping around and shooting the arrow. And she says, are you going to be able to get back into that? As if like she's expecting him to say, no way, there's no way. Like, I'm broken. And he goes, no. I mean, he's lost flesh and bone, but he's refueled with love and titanium. I think I'm gonna make a shirt. Love and titanium.
I say we start a petition to have him play Terminator next.
Right? No, I love it. Yeah. I mean, you can really just tell the character in him. Like he has integrity. I just think he's an all-around great guy. I mean, I don't know him from Adam. I mean, he could be a total jerk. I don't know, but
wow, kick a man when he's down, Rob.
but I mean, when I watch that, I'm like, I think that he is. I think he's real. I think he's real.
I think he's real too, and I think he's real lucky because when you hear those number of bones and number of ribs that were broken, and of course he had a punctured lung, and you're up in a mountain in the middle of nowhere that it took a snowcat to get to, the fact that he didn't die from internal bleeding is nothing short of a miracle. Because I mean, all those bones could have went through all kinds of organs, and it's amazing and extremely lucky that it didn't end up way worse, and is a totally different conversation.
Right? No, for sure. And um, yeah, you were talking about, when you hear him agonizing in the background in that 911 call, it's like, oh my gosh, I can't even imagine. But I the other part is that she asked him, and he says, I would do it again. That was my
Yeah.
news to you. Like, I'm gonna help him. So I think that Marvel needs to jump on this, and I'm not saying they're to capitalize it, but I'm saying to reward him. I think he needs his own feature.
Right.
Let's
Yeah, and
go.
I think his nephew deserves to have a spot in that too. Can you imagine what that kid went through watching this happen and unfold and being there in the middle of nowhere? And luckily had a cell phone signal, because if that's another thing, if they were up there too far and had no signal, this would have been different too. I mean, it all just kind of, holy cow. Yeah, it's crazy. I'm looking forward to watching that.
Yep, I'm gonna pull it up maybe this evening. Love and Titanium. Love. That's it right there. Oh, yeah, crazy. The people that inspire us, and he's inspired me since the very first time I saw him in Avengers. I loved, I don't know, I like kind of the smaller characters that don't get all the screen time, and it took a long time before Disney Plus finally made Hawkeye, and it was so well deserved. I mean, I've always thought that he was, one of my favorite Avengers, and I'm not just saying that because he almost died. I mean, like, literally, it's like Cap and then Hawkeye. Like, I like those characters, but it's that just that he was in a film series or franchise, or he is in a franchise that is all about being selfless. Like, I mean, that's the whole idea. I mean, even in the end, we see Iron Man, and I know I'm going off on a Marvel tangent here, but even in the end, we see that Iron Man is selfless to save the world, right? I mean, as arrogant as he is coming up, and his background, it's all about being selfless, and I just think it's an important lesson, and he shows it right here in real life. This is not film. This was not scripted. He basically almost died.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, no transition, but speaking of franchises, I wanted to talk real quick about something that I completely missed the boat on, and now I'm on the bandwagon.
Uh-oh.
Mandalorian. I know I'm the last person to watch this.
Really?
But we just started it like 2 weeks ago, and we just finished season 2. I think Mary has a new favorite character. Every time Grogu is on the screen, I look at her and she has this goofy grin on her face, and she's like, "Oh no, he's just so cute." Yeah, I know you guys did you guys did your live talks about it, and every week you were watching it and then talking about it, and I just was kind of indifferent and never watched it. And holy crap, what a heck of a series that is!
Right? Yeah, we're towards the middle end of this season right now. So, I mean, I won't put any spoilers out here, but I really enjoy what Favreau and Filoni have been doing with the Star Wars universe. Repairing some things and bringing some fandom back, and the Mandalorian definitely, I think, is the foundation of this generation of Star Wars fans. So
Yeah, I mean, because honestly, Mary could care less about Star Wars, and it took me a while to talk her into watching the first one. And now we get home and sit down, and I say, "What do you want to watch?" And she looks at me and she says, "Can we watch Mandalorian?" I never in a million years would have thought I would hear the words "Can we watch the Mandalorian" out of my wife's mouth, and she's as into it as I am. It's that good. And if you're not a Star Wars fan, give it 3 episodes. I'm telling you, if you haven't watched it and you're like me, or I'm probably the last one. I have to be the last one that didn't watch this because it is that good. But holy crap, it reeled us both right in.
Well, okay, so if you go back and you watch like some, why it happened or how it happened, kind of, shows about Star Wars, George Lucas pulled his inspiration from a lot of places. Like the whole, like, he studied religions, right? He studied all sorts of religions and he brought the religion aspect into Star Wars. But he was also enamored by samurais and westerns, right? And so
Yeah.
that's kind of the gist of Star Wars. And I think that some of that kind of went away in some of the, prequels and sequels, but The Mandalorian brings it back. Like, you see all the elements of a Western in that show, even down to the soundtrack. I mean, go watch some like Dirty Harry and, the whistling in the background and stuff like that. Um, it's all part of it. Like, it is amazing how they blended, Western with samurai and into this, Star Wars universe, and all of the original concepts and ideas that Lucas had with that original trilogy. So,
The part that blew me away, I think the point where I was like, oh, I'm totally into this, was the first moment that there was like witty, goofy banter between stormtroopers. That is the funniest thing to me. When they're just like sitting on a speeder bike, BSing with each other. It is the funniest, talking, trying to shoot a can off the ground, and everybody, they just keep missing. Like, that is the funniest thing to me. I love it.
yeah, you're taking all those what do you call them, cliches from that everybody's like come up with, like, stormtroopers can't hit anything.
Yeah.
So,
And then the Mandalorian's like a magnet for him, but it doesn't matter. Like,
yeah,
I
right.
can't. No, I had to talk about it a little bit because it's still, I mean, like, I'm excited to sit down and watch it tonight. And I'm excited that I still have, like another season to go. And for people that, I love showing up late to a party and having a few years of things to watch, because you can really sit down and power through it. And it's like one giant long movie, and it's
Yeah.
amazing. It's so good. So if you haven't, please give it a try, because holy cow, it's so good.
Yeah. The I'm on the fence as far as like binging. Like, I'm like you. I want to see. I want it, like, at the end of an episode, I'm like, let's play the next one. Let's play the next one. Let's play the next one. Like, I want that like long movie feel. But as you mentioned just a little bit ago, when these were coming out and back when we were still in Texas and we were doing Taco Tuesday, we had a weekly show on Taco Tuesday where we would talk about each episode and have that conversation. And I miss that.
Yeah.
I really do. I miss that kind of weekly talk. Like, hey, did you see? And then we can have a conversation about it. And I think that we're going back to that. Like, you can save the whole episode, but for instance, was it The Last of Us on HBO? They released one show a week, right? And then the next day, HBO was putting out spoilers. Like,
Really?
they were throwing out spoilers of what happened last night because they wanted people to watch it and talk about it. And so I
Sure.
think that's genius that they're noticing that we're missing something in society, because we don't sit around and talk about these things as much as we used to, right? And if they release them once a week, that gives you, a week to kind of sit back, talk about it, analyze it, and then expect the next one to come in. And I really like that. So you need to get caught up. And then if you can get caught up all the way to where we're at, maybe we'll Sunday night watch the next one.
Well, that's what I'm saying, because in 2 weeks I'm going to have a studio, and I'll be caught up completely. So maybe we can jump on Disney Connections and do a Taco Tuesday, and now I can actually be part of the conversation, because yeah, totally into it.
I know some people that will show up, because I've got some Star Wars experts. So, but yeah, no, I'm loving it. I'm loving this new season. I'm really interested to find out like where it goes, because there's some twists and turns that I wasn't quite expecting. And Yeah. If you haven't checked it out, you gotta go do that. Yeah. All
I mean,
right.
that was a weird long conversation to have from Florida Vacation Network, but hey, we're Disney too, so we just got to talk about it sometimes because yeah, I needed to get that off my chest.
Well, I'm so glad you're back in the game. You know what? We did that with Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones, and here's my deal. I'm not a bandwagon guy, and I don't listen to a lot of like negative commentary. Like I don't listen to it and go, oh well, they didn't like it, so I'm never gonna watch it. But Game of Thrones, I didn't end up. I don't think we picked that up until the season before the last season. Or, I mean, the summer before the last season, and we just started watching it, and I was like, okay, I think I like this show. And so we binged it through the summer so that we could get caught up by the time they released the last season. But yeah, I just don't jump on the bandwagon and stuff. And I think I have to. I need to jump on the bandwagon a little bit so that I'm a little bit more current, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh,
well, that ripped through 2 hours real quick. We should probably cover our sponsors who are near and dear to our hearts. And got the weekend coming up. You got anything planned for this weekend besides coming over to my house and go out in my shower?
No, that was really all that I had planned to do this weekend. So I want to make sure and save my energy for that.
You're gonna need it. Just kidding. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, let's take a look here. We've got small businesses here in Central Florida. This is how we live our day to day and bring you content here over on Florida Vacation Network. We've got notjustcruising.com. So if you're planning a vacation, and you know what, honestly, it doesn't have to just be in Florida, but we happen to be here and we happen to call ourselves experts on Florida vacationing. So you can go over to notjustcruising.com and book your cruise, book your trip. Reach out if you have questions about travel. We are here for you at notjustcruising.com. Once you get to your vacation location here in Florida, you can call Park Hopper Choppers. Well, actually, I would call him before and schedule it because he's kind of busy. But call Park Hopper Choppers and get that ride from the airport to your resort. Beautiful car. Okay, conversationist. But it's somebody you know, it's somebody you love. Chris will pick you up from the airport and drop you off. And then if you want a mobility scooter to get around to the parks, this is Central Florida's best mobility scooter rental company. You can contact him at parkhopperchopper.com or call Chris 407-989-9618. Once you leave, or maybe in preparation for your trip, you can always get a hold of Main Street Treat for your favorite treats. You got Rice Krispies cookies, character apples, popcorn, and we can't send Dole Whip yet, but if we ever are able to send Dole Whip, that will be on this website as well. So go to mainstreettreat.com for your treat needs, and you can stop by the Fun and Fancy Freight tab. I put a link in the chat earlier from Wish Upon a Disney. She had a Fun and Fancy Freight box and absolutely loved it. Go check out her video and all the love and care that we put in. Well, I say we, really, I'm talking about Melanie putting into your merch box. So, all right. Well,
I just want to thank again Susan for doing the moderation on here, putting all the links in there, and congratulations on hitting 1,000 subscribers on your channel. And if you haven't checked out her channel now that we're ending this one, go check out hers. I also wanted to say thank you so much to Luke over at A Spicy Production for his work on that short for us to make the cheeseburger spring rolls that looked amazing, and my stomach's been growling since then, and that's not a joke. I have not eaten breakfast. But no, thank you all, and thanks to everybody in the chat. Mel for correcting me on so many things today. I appreciate you. And right, and then I also wanted to say at some point here, and I'm springing this on Rob, but we have a habit of getting together on Sundays, and I was just thinking that maybe we could start thinking about also streaming that as our After Dark on Sundays. I don't know. We'll talk more about that, but
Possibly.
that might be kind of fun to do something a little bit out of the ordinary and have something a little less formal and a little more fun, like we used to on a specific day that you can put your kids in a closet and lock the door so that they don't hear it. You know, a little bit more animated. But yeah, we'll talk about that more. But
a lot of fun for
but
sure.
that-
I say
yeah,
it's a lot of fun for sure.
Yeah, and thanks to Karki for coming in here. I think this is your first time here, and I'm pretty sure that I've seen you in Pete's stream. I think that's where you came from.
Yeah.
Let me know if I'm wrong on that. But
Carol
yeah.
there. That's Carol from Karki Carol.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think we're wrapping it up, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay. Well, I'm going to play just the first little bit of Dick Nunes here because I just want you to hear it from him. You know, we can have all the inspiration in the world and have all the imagination and do a lot of things, but it's because of you. It's because of you that this is all available. Well, you and 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 you. Everybody else is over here. But yeah, so Dick Nunes giving us a little bit of words of wisdom. I'm gonna let him take us out and we'll go to the outro. Chris, if you hang out, we'll chat after it's all over.
Sounds good. Have a great day, everybody. Thanks for hanging out with us.
Bye.
Pine Creek, Bill, the most wonderful place in the world. It takes people to make the dream a reality. And I mean that very sincerely. Without all of you in this room, this place wouldn't be what it is today.